Fellow South Africans, my name is Earl Smiles. I'm an ordinary citizen of this beloved country of ours. I am in no way or form connected to any political organization. I'm not affiliated to any political body within this country. I am not a political analyst. I am not a political scholar. Quite frankly, I don't have any political knowledge. However, as a citizen that has the legal right to vote, which I do exercise every time the opportunity presents itself within South Africa, I believe that I'm entitled to have a political opinion with regards to the political discourse in this beloved country of ours called South Africa. I have therefore taken it upon myself to give you, the South African public, a layman's review on how our political parties has fared during the course of 2014. I've also decided not to base any assumptions or facts on how so-called smaller political parties have performed within the last year, as I personally believe they have rather become ineffective, inefficient, and should, quite frankly, not exist anymore. Nonetheless, these guys have obtained a legal vote and therefore have been allocated a minimum of 1 to 2 seats each within the Parliament of South Africa. I have therefore opted only to give you my review on the three mainstream political parties of this country, being the ANC, the ruling party, the Democratic Alliance, the official opposition, and the EFF, the new kids on the block, who has been causing a lot of stir in our parliaments and legislatures across the country during 2014. Let us start with the ANC. I think that the ANC personally has lost the plot. They have forgotten everything that they fought for, why so many of their cadres have died, for us to enjoy the simple freedom called a democracy within South Africa. The ANC have become too embroiled in protecting our state president with all the shenanigans that he's been alleged to have committed, some of them not committed, but nonetheless, he doesn't take any responsibility for anything as it is in South Africa at the moment. I also don't think that the ANC has taken the vote that they so gracefully received from the South African public very seriously. It would appear that they just used this vote to get a sufficient amount of seats within the parliament to veto anything that our political opposition parties may bombard them with. One of those examples is obviously the now famous pay back the money for the Nkandla debacle that has our president embroiled in that. Secondly, some of the government parastatals have become completely inefficient and totally non-existent. Why they still exist, why the CEOs are allowed to continue in their current jobs, only the ANC has the answers for that. I think that maybe if the ANC will take stock and realize that come the 2016 elections and the following national elections, the actions of this year and the years to follow, unless they get the act together, will cost them dearly at the vote. Therefore, I will give the ANC a measly 4 out of 10. Now let's come to the Democratic Alliance. This once was a so-called forceful opposition party, which in my opinion has wasted a lot of taxpayers or party members' money at least by going to courts in and out to try and fight the ANC to do their jobs. Unfortunately, during the last year, the DA has almost also become non-existent in Parliament. I think their role has unofficially been taken over by the EFF, who in my view has become the official opposition within the government or the Parliament of South Africa. The DA has a lot of work to do. The DA has got a stigma that they need to try and detach from them so that ordinary black South Africans like myself will feel comfortable voting for them. Quite frankly, I've become sick and tired of to hear how well the Cape has been run, about the clean audits they get. I want to see a holistic picture in terms of the areas that they govern, that the affluent areas and the poor areas actually start looking the same. Then I will say the DA is doing a fantastic job within the provinces that they run. Now let's talk about the EFF. These are the guys with the red beret and red overalls that lots of people actually accuse of turning our parliament into a circus. I always ask this question, a circus by whose standards? British standards, European standards, or African standards? I think the EFF is the only party that has become smart enough to realize that by going the legal route of caucus meetings and caucus meetings will absolutely bring you nowhere, because the ANC in all these meetings will always have a majority based on their representation of parliament. So what these guys do is they cause a noise, they cause a stir, and they get thrown out of parliament time and time again. Has the EFF been effective? Maybe in parliament. Has they won over the South African public? I don't think quite so. I think some of their policies are extremely radical that do sound danger until they've been implemented and tested. The DA therefore gets a vote of 6 out of 10, simply because they are there and they behave themselves. The EFF, some of you may call them ineffective, but I give them a resounding 8 out of 10. This is my view on how South African public has fared, or politician parties has fared over the last year. What do you think? Please post your comments. I'm glad to hear from you. My name is Earl Smiles. This is my review. Politics in South Africa. What a ball. Bye for now.